the foreign exchange stable at this point in time. That is one. Those are some of the issues. But mainly and purely, what has come out clearly to most people is that there is a revenue problem, but there's more of a management problem. And the management problem has resulted from mainly nepotism. Nepotism because people want to put in their people from their own area, whether they're qualified or not. And even if they get into they are not fired, and there can be no discipline because the people are sacred cows because they come from certain areas. It will be important to address all of these issues because Nigeria has no time to waste. We are 115 or maybe less than 120 days to an election, and it is quite clear that the pressure on the economy is becoming unbearable. So I think the discussion today is quite clear, pretty obvious that time is run out. The economy is
war sorts, modular, and ongoing one, and then at the same time ensure that the resources are invested in critical development areas like supporting MSMEs, education, health, and pulling people out of poverty. That's what I'm going to do in subsidy. On issue of oil theft, I've said those who are stealing oil are people in government. Because you can't steal oil, it's not something you put in your bucket. There must be a ship that will come and load it. I'm not an expert in it. But even the managing director of Nigerian Ports Authority said when the ships come into Nigeria, they remove what we used to dictate them. So can't our Navy dictate them if they remove their dictation facility? So it is it's a crime we need to deal, and I assure you it will be dealt with decisively. On issue of exchange rate will be fought in two ways. One is fiscal responsibility. As long as we continue the way we are going with fiscal rascality, printing money and throwing it, by the time you remove subsidy, deal with the issue of oil theft, which will make you earn more foreign exchange, deal with the issue, other issues, like what I said, move from consumption to production, you're able to make more money. If you export more and you're able to have more foreign currency, you manage and stabilize your foreign currency.
Next,
Hello, people. I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel, and this is Daily Strides, where we analyze trending issues. Okay, issues that relates to us, and for us, the most pressing and the most important issue right now is the forthcoming 2023 presidential election. And in this election, every Nigerian is a stakeholder because whatever is the outcome of this election is going to affect every one of us, just like the past ones has affected us. All right, whether you know it or not, and it lies on our decision to choose the kind of future we actually want. For me, I believe a people deserve the kind of leaders they have because they make decisions based on certain parameters and based on certain values before choosing their leaders. So if they choose the wrong leaders, it's not the problem as it were with the leaders, it's the problem of the people because the fault has to do with the values of the people. Okay? So it will, for me, it would take a wrong people to choose wrong leaders, and it would take the right people to choose right leaders. All right. Now, I said this because of what the clip you just watched right now is the town hall meeting presidential debate. I said I'm not going to do something about this presidential debate. Why? Because I was so annoyed. And the reason why I was so annoyed is because um, uh, I believe the Nigerians deserve better. I believe the Nigerians deserve better. You and I deserve better. We have seen consistent um, uh, body languages that shows that Tinubu and Atiku does not really regard Nigerians, particularly Tinubu. But in this case right now, Atiku was not in this debate. I don't know why. Tinubu was not in this debate. This is a debate for uh, presidential candidate, not for vice presidents. All right. As usual, P2B was on ground, and instead of facing the presidential candidates, all right, he had to face vice president. That alone is insulting. That alone is derogatory, and I know that this was intentionally done. It was intentionally done as a psychological battle against the person of Obi. How can you pair him alongside with presidential vice presidents? All right, and the kind of stupid questions some of them are even asking. I don't want to mention name. Is the vice is the office of the president and the office of the vice president the same? I don't understand. Okay, so take out time to go to Arise Television and actually watch the whole section and see what a whole lot of them have to say. Now, one good thing about the man P2B is that even though very sound and very knowledgeable of economics and all that, P2B understands the problem of Nigeria. He understands what the problem of this country is. And he was bold enough to declare it openly. Okay? He has been consistent with what he's saying. If you listen to what he had to say in the course of this town hall meeting, you will say they are not quite different from what he has been saying over and over and over again. The man noted that Nigeria has a problem of revenue, yes, but Nigeria mostly have a problem of management. And P2B is saying that the reason for this problem of management is because there is theft and subsidies are being mismanaged. And a whole lot of things. If you removed theft and you don't just print money and throw it openly, which he calls fiscal rascality, and then you uh, uh, manage or stop the crime of oil theft in this country, then what that means is that we're going to have more revenues, and as such, we'll be able to manage our revenues. This is what P2B is saying in this case. All right. So I believe strongly. One thing about him is that he doesn't sound academical. All right. There are a lot of people who try to theorize the whole thing. We're not in a classroom, sir. We are not in a classroom. We are in whatever you are discussing has to get out of the book and has to be contextualized in the context called Nigeria. Okay? So, discussing book theories and all that is not the most important thing. The men who have an understanding of what the problem, and nobody has been able to say this boldly, that the problem of Nigeria, oil theft, and we know that the main income of Nigeria here is coming from oil. And this same oil is being stolen by the people in power. And nobody was able to declare this apart from P2B. Every other person is trying to theorize and sound academic and sound all that. But he was the one who was actually hitting the nail on the head. Okay? So take time actually to go through this and then you make your decision on who to vote for. Make your decision. 2023 presidential election is just by the corner. Make your decision based on number one, who is factual. I don't mean who is speaking from a textbook. Who is actually factual? Who understands the context called Nigeria? Who actually is sincere? Who do you think have the political will to get things done? P2B once said that Nigeria has qualified as a failed state, but the problem of Nigeria is solvable. All right? Everything is failing. Can you think, how can you explain the fact that two presidential candidates we are not available? I mean, the foremost presidential candidates we are not available in. Is it that they don't see it as a duty? What it actually means is that they are not accountable. If you vote them, they will not be accountable to you because they bought their vote, they bought their office. It's for them, it's all about business. They can afford to spend so much because they know when they get hold on the power, they will recuperate and get all their money back. That's exactly what they're doing. All right, they are so they can afford to spend. For them, is business. I spend a whole lot of money, become the president of the country, and I get all the money back in 8 years, even make much more money. So if you vote for them because they gave you money, because he's your brother, because he's from your party, he's from your what do you call it? He's from your tribe, or whatever sentiments you are using to base your judgment on who to vote for. Then at the end of the day, get ready for this country being. In fact, can I tell you the truth? This country cannot afford another plunder for 8 years. This country cannot even afford another plunder for 4 years. I'm telling you the truth. Everybody know, and according to what the moderator is saying, that Nigeria has a major problem with revenue, but mostly with the problem of management. The little thing that is coming in is not well managed. People are stealing from a dying nation, and these people are still telling us that the country is okay. All right? Instead of them making themselves available here, somebody like Dino Melaye is asking a question. Is the office of the president and vice president the same? What sort of question is that? They are not the same. Constitutionally speaking, they are not the same. The president can delegate, is the commander in chief of the country, just like what Peter B answered, is the commander in chief of the country. Yes. And when he leaves, he can delegate power on on the person of the president, on the person of the vice president. There are designated assignment and designated role that the vice president should take, but the commander in chief, the one who it rests on his decks to ensure that this country is safe, is the president. So that question is uncalled for. He is just asking that question because, not because he doesn't know the answer to the question. He's asking that question because he's trying to justify the reason, the absence of his principle, and that's what he's doing. And this is what they've been doing with Nigerians. They know a lot of people will doubt it, they know a lot of people will challenge it, but it doesn't matter to them. They just have to say it, whether the people believe it or not. So what am I saying? Nigerians, they say, if you do the same thing over and over again, if you do the same thing over and over again, you shouldn't be, it will be insanity for you to expect a different result. So if you want a different result, you have to do something differently from what you've been doing. This country is at the verge of a breakdown. This country needs is at this is a state of economic coma. The society needs a state of emergency. The society needs, and I can tell you that our decision come 2023 presidential election will actually determine what this country becomes of. All right. May we learn from our past mistake and not repeat the same mistake. Vote a man who is factual. Vote a man who understands the context called Nigeria. Vote a man who is bold. Vote a man who won't come and be theorizing and be sounding academic and sounding who has his head full of textbook knowledge, but vote a man who understands the context of this country and a man who has the political will to vote to solve the problem of Nigeria. And in my opinion, that man is P2B. Thank you so much for watching this video. I remain Diddy Strides. And if you like contents like this, please, I crave your indulgence. Hit the notification button, subscribe, share this video, and then we will have to smile. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Signing out.